What is the dark web?
Dark web, or otherwise known as a Tor browser, is the type of browser that you use to access the dark web. And the Tor browser, what it's supposed to do is wrap that information and encrypt it all different ways. So the people who run the servers and all that stuff on the dark web, they can't figure out who you are as the individual. So it was supposed to be set up to be anonymous, to promote anonymous web surfing and anonymous web activity, but unfortunately it's been taken over by criminals and other bad actors to hide their activity, and it's become a favorite place for hackers and other nefarious people who are trying to do damage to businesses to share information with one another. So essentially that's what it's become today.
Why does it exist, and what do people do on it?
The dark web was invented to be an anonymous place for, you think of the regular internet where you go on Google Chrome or Firefox or whatever browser you have, and you search for things and surf websites, but Google and everyone can track everything that you're doing. Everything from drug dealing is happening on the dark web, arms dealing, information sharing about companies, secret information about companies, proprietary information, usernames, passwords, even plans that you have for marketing and product development are probably sitting out on the dark web if your network has ever been compromised.
How do my company's credentials end up on the dark web?
So companies' credentials end up on the dark web by other websites being hacked. So if you think back a few years ago, there was a massive breach with LinkedIn. Off the top of my head, I know Adobe's been breached. There's been Bitly's been breached. A lot of other smaller websites have been breached where you're required to sign up with a username and password. In the past, and even prevalent today, people use the same password for multiple websites. They use the same password for their work email account as they do their personal email account. They use the same password for Facebook as they do for their work email and their LinkedIn and every other website they use. So really it boils down to poor password hygiene and the hackers knowing that most people don't significantly change their passwords from site to site. So if they're able to obtain your email address and password from a LinkedIn breach, then they're able to take that information and try to perpetrate another hack by either getting into your email or trying to log into your network and things like that using the information they can find on the dark web.
Why should I care if my company's credentials end up on the dark web?
So your company credentials on the dark web, you might think, well, my company's credentials or an employee of mine's credentials have been identified as being on the dark web. You may think, well, I'll just change my password, or they're only going to use that to, I've only used that password for these sites and this. I didn't use it for work. I didn't use it over here. But the reality of it is that these hackers don't use the information that they share on the dark web with compromised credentials to perpetrate an attack. They use it to further a bigger attack. An example of that would be, say an employee of yours happened to use a password like flowers123, and at your work you have to use a stronger password. So instead of using flowers123, they use flowers123! Hackers will take that flowers123, they'll run it through a keyword or a password cracker program, and they'll try to brute force their way in using various combinations of that same password to try to get into your email or your network. And typically what we see happening is if you've ever received an email from somebody who's somebody legitimate that you do business with, and then 5 minutes later you get an email from them saying, don't open that email, I was hacked. More than likely, their information was on the dark web. A hacker was able to go to their webmail, log in as them, and then start sending out emails from their email account that had attachments that probably had some kind of payload in it with ransomware or some other malware that was in that attachment. Now, you're more apt to click on that email because it was from somebody you've done business with and you trust. So your guard was down. You didn't realize that this person had been compromised. So even though that your information isn't on the dark web, information out there that can be used for people that you work with or people that you do business with, that information can be used to perpetrate you or your account on your computer or in your company's network. One of the things that you can do as if you're concerned about your credentials being on the dark web is you can go to a website called Have I Been Pawned. It's a free website that you can search. You can take any email address. You can use your email address. You can use a coworker's email address. Put that email address in the search box, hit search. It will tell you if that email address has been compromised and there is a username and password associated with that email address on the dark web. It's a very simple and free and easy way for you to see whether or not you have information out there. But as a business, it's important that you monitor the dark web at all times, because even though you might not have compromised credentials out there today, you could have them out there tomorrow. And it's really not economical for a business to search Have I Been Pawned every single day to see if their credentials have been compromised, and not every company and employee is going to just go out and be proactive and do that. So it's important that you work with a company like us. We have proprietary software that we use that constantly monitors not only the dark web, but other places that we know this information is being shared and exists. And we monitor that for our clients so that either today or anytime in the future, if something like a LinkedIn hack happens, we're able to identify the people and the usernames and passwords that have been breached pretty quickly, pretty easily, alert the company of this information that's out there, and then take the appropriate action so that that information cannot be used against that company in a further breach. So now that we've covered kind of the important parts of the dark web, how your information gets there, what they do with the information when it's there, next video I'm going to talk about what you can do if you do find your credentials on the dark web, actionable steps you can take so that that information that's out there cannot be used against you or your company in a breach or further attack, or cause embarrassment to your company because your company was breached and then it caused one of your partners, vendors, or clients to have an issue on their end because of information that was on the dark web for your company. Thank you for watching this video from Xact IT Solutions, and if you like what you saw here today, please give us the video a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or you want to comment about anything that you saw in our video, please do so in the comment section below. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and if you want to get alerted when we upload new videos to the channel, please hit the little alert bell, and hopefully YouTube will notify you when we post new content. Check out the link in the description below for any more information relevant to this video. And if you want to know anything about our services or how we can help your company with IT, please check out our website at xitx.com.